I never had a summer of '69. Never had a cherry balance of my own. All these precious moments you promised me would come in time. So where was I when I missed mine? Time won't let me go. Time won't let me go. If you gave me back those years, I'd do it all better, I swear. But time won't let me go. If I could go back once again, I would change everything. Yeah. If I could go back once again, I'd do it all so much better. Time won't let me go. Time won't let me go. If I could do it all again, I'd go back and change everything. But you won't ever let me go. Tell me, come on, tell me what you can. Even as you wait for death, you're wiser than I am. Tell me, what does it mean to exist? I'm not a scientist, I must believe in more than this. And I cannot accept that everything that's real is only what our eyes can see and our hands can feel. Not even Earth can hold us, not even life controls us, not even the ground can keep us down. The memories in my head are just a real as a downward span. You'll always be close to me, my friend. This is not the end. I see, I can see you're so afraid. You wear it like a silver hood on you. Even fear looks good. I wish I had some words to give, but all that I can think to say is I'll be with you every day. Not even Earth can hold us, not even life controls us, not even the ground can keep us down. The memories in my head are just a real as a downward span. You'll always be close to me, my friend. This is not the end. This is not the end. This is not I don't care what you believe, as long as you are in my heart, you're just as real as me. And maybe even more, someone who's touched so many lives can never die. Not even Earth can hold us, not even Earth controls us, not even the ground can keep us down. The memories in my head are just as real as the time we spent. You'll always be close to me, my friend. This is not the end. This is not the end. This is not the end. I never even gave it a second thought. I was so sure that I was wrong. Now every single thing I ever had is gone. Oh, nothing here is set in stone. Nothing's ever set in stone. Everything I have someday will fall apart and fade away.
One of the first musical memories I have, I guess, was when my older brother came home from college, and I was probably in about kindergarten, and I stole one of his mixed tapes, which I think was an album that had Tom Tom Club on it, and I really liked that. I think Rappy Wording Hood, or whatever the song is that they talk about words, and it kind of seemed like a lesson that a kindergartner would listen to. I was into that song, but since it was a mixtape, it had been recorded over a bunch of times, and the label on it actually said jazz. So for a couple of years I thought Tom Tom Club was jazz. And I never liked my dad's version of those records, so
Your dad's jazz wasn't as good as your brother's jazz.
Didn't hold up to the Tom Tom Club.
I was really young. We had a school talent show, and I was in the talent show. I was watching it, and it was like really young kids. So there'd be like a juggler and like a ballerina or something, and then these older kids. They were in like 8th grade, so we thought they were the coolest ever. And they came in and they had a punk band, and they set up on stage, and they played 99 Red Balloons, but like punk as hell, and it was so loud and so just totally inappropriate. They got shut down in like 30 seconds, and I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. And that was the first time I was like, wow, music is really cool.
I think my favorite album growing up, just in terms of the one I played the most, would definitely be Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction.
That was a big one for me too.
Yeah, I think I listened to that for like 3 years straight.
Somebody had like burned a copy of that for me at the time, and they had left off the last song. And so GNR was like my favorite band, and 2 years later I heard that song for the first time, and that was just like the most mind-blowing experience. But there had been Rocket Queen, I think was the last one.
Queen.
My friend was like, yeah, Rocket Queen's my favorite. I'm like, what? So it was like discovering the holy grail that I've been missing this whole time. I was really pissed at my friend that made me the copy of that album.
The first song I learned to play, I think, would be Sunshine of Your Love on guitar.
No way. I think that was actually the same for me.
Yeah, every kid in 6th grade who goes to the guitar store and they have a little lesson in the back for a half hour. I think that's kind of like the standard.
It's always like this burned out hippie dude who teaches you, and so he's like, yeah, you got to learn the freshest, latest stuff. It's like Sunshine of Your Love. Definitely like some Jimi Hendrix in there.
Yeah.
Like Purple Haze, I think, was early on. Some Zeppelin.
I was really like kind of scared to go into that back room with that guy because I guess he was a classical guitarist and I didn't know what that meant at the time, but I just remember these talons for hands. Yeah, huge fingernails.
Yeah, but only on one hand, which is really creepy. My mom is a singer, so when I told her that I wanted to be a musician, she was cool with it. She's like a voice teacher at a high school, and so she was excited. I think my dad was a little weirded out.
I don't know if I ever even made that transition, but I remember when I was a kid, that was sort of their joke. I have a younger sister, and my parents have friends with kids the same age, and when we were 6 or 7, they were going to start us off as a string quartet. So all of us played violin, cello, but we gave that up pretty quick. So I guess now I'm sort of doing it, but different instruments.
The first song I wrote was like you just kind of record everybody playing in the basement. So it's like 5 kids playing 5 different songs at the same time.
Yeah, that's kind of
it's kind of genius.
Yeah, the first song you write is kind of 5 or 6 songs, and that becomes like your first.
Right. I don't think that there's
you
much
get a whole
like
set
writing.
out of the one song you're doing.
There's not like a lot of writing involved, and the song is about 25 minutes long.
Drum solos for sure.
Yeah. Whenever you listen to like a 13-year-old song that he writes, it's like 11 minutes. It's always incredibly long. And then as you learn how to write songs, it gets shorter and shorter, usually.
Also sounds a lot like Sunshine of Your Love.
Yeah. We started writing the new record when we were on tour for the last record, and it was at the end of the tour, the last 3 months, we did Eastern Europe, opening for Depeche Mode, and that was awesome. It was great, but there's a lot of downtime, just kind of being stuck in a blizzard, in Latvia, and like that tour, we had so much downtime that it kind of got the juices flowing. sometimes boredom is the best thing that can happen.
Yeah, it's kind of like how a lot of people write books from prison. Like we spent
Right.
a lot of time just backstage in weird locker rooms, staying out of the snow. So we had some extra time. It was just forced creativity.
And we would just set up the laptops in the back of the bus and just record right into those. So we just do a lot of recording on, you know, really simple recording equipment, even like GarageBand,
Yeah.
stuff like that, you know. And so I think that was where that was the beginnings of the first songs for this album.
What kind of party? I usually put on a mellow record when a party starts. Start off with some cocktails, and then it gets crazy from there. It always
Yeah.
ends with someone singing Journey, but you don't have to start that way.
Anthony, the drummer in our band. Every party ends, because that's when generally everyone leaves, is when he starts singing Journey. There's definitely like an arc to the album choice for a party, because like there's like where you're like getting ready, you're like, oh man,
Yeah.
people are about to come over, so you have your like
That's
cleaning
where I
up the
start.
place album,
I start with the jazz, but not in the tom-tom club sort
right,
of way.
like actual jazz.
Like the actual jazz, maybe with some Afro-Cuban rhythms in there, loosen people
Right,
up. and
Afro-Cuban's great for like making your bed and like
for
cleaning
eating
up the
dips
house.
and
Yeah. The first time I heard our stuff, like not in the studio, was I think what happened was we just burned CDs and gave it to our friends, and then I'd hear stories about like, you know, they're playing your CD at this club or like at some store in New York, and so one day I was in a club and it was playing. It was really cool. I think the general litmus test for when you made it in a band is when Weird Al does a version of your song. So
we're still waiting.
they were still waiting. Maybe the next Weird Al album.
Or maybe an original tune in the style of one of our
Yeah,
songs.
it can either be a Weird Al version of one of your songs, or it can be in his polka medley
Yeah.
that he does every album. He includes part of your song. That would be considered making it as well, although not on the same level of success if you get your own parody.